Welcome to Sports 101. This is our big game preview, and obviously, we are previewing the biggest game of the weekend in the English Premier League. Person, it's Liverpool taking on Manchester City, and this time around is very different compared to the previous seasons.
Yeah.
So, over the years, it's gradually become more or less like the classical of English football. The United, Liverpool, that rivalry seemed to be waning off a bit, and now one of the most anticipated games in the EPL is whenever Liverpool are playing City, whether at Anfield or at Etihad. At this time, there's a twist because the league standing makes this game very, very, very important. However this game ends, it could end in the favor of Arsenal, it could end in the favor of Liverpool, it could end in the favor of Manchester City. Before we get to all the twists and everything, how do you expect this game to go?
Okay.
Liverpool taking on City at Anfield.
First of all, I don't want to concur to the fact that it has become the classical. Never. It can never be. Probably in the next 10-15 years, we can say something like that. The very fact that City, over the past few years, have been able to amass such titles and impose themselves as a prima donna of the Premier League does not necessarily mean that they clashing with Liverpool makes it the biggest let's say the biggest fixture of the season. I wouldn't concur to that. I would even choose a United Chelsea over it because these are teams that have really, really established that. Of course, you can say that it is one of the most anticipated or probably one of the most title deciding, but it does not get as much viewership as probably a City, a Manchester derby itself, or maybe a Manchester United Liverpool. Let me put that one, a Manchester United Liverpool. So for that one, I would want to maybe assert my views on that. But with what you said, you couldn't have said it better. If you are talking about these two teams, and for the past, let's say from 2018-2019 season, that is where they really, really started. That was when you had Liverpool having those 97 useless points, 97, 98 useless points, and they have been back and forth. This one is first, this one is second, except the 2020-2021 season where Liverpool really did not do well, and last season where Liverpool too were just way off the pecking order. The past previous seasons, you've hardly had a margin of more than a goal. It's always either a 1-1, a 2-2, a 1-0. Even in the 2020-2021 season, it took a Kyle Walker clearance off the line, which was just millimeters away, which actually won City the title because that match, which Kyle Walker had to clear the ball off the line, was what gave City the edge that made them get about a point or two above them. So for me, like you said, it is a possible title decider. They've gone head to head over and over and over again. And it's really, really, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I would actually sit behind and watch the two of them just kill each other, probably in a draw, because if they draw, Arsenal with their goal difference superiority, they would definitely edge over the two. So for me, like you said, I can't anticipate it any better this weekend.
I think that it's going to be an interesting game. I'm looking at this game as possibly the game. People think that it is a title decider, but I look at the games that the two teams have at hand. Make it three. The three teams have at hand. There will be a lot of twists and turns at the end of the season, before the season. I do not think that this game is going to be the title decider. But let's go into this game. Liverpool in their last 5 games are yet to lose. City, on the other hand, as well, are yet to lose in their last 5. Let's look at some few numbers. So in the last 5 games for Liverpool, they beat Brentford away 4-1, beat Luton at home 4-1. They went away to beat Chelsea 1-0. They beat Southampton at home 3-0. Then they beat Nottingham Forest, the controversial winner over Nottingham Forest by a goal to nil. City, on the other hand, as well, they beat Brentford by a goal to nil, beat Bournemouth by a goal to nil, whitewashed Luton by 6 goals to 2, beat Manchester United by 3 goals to 1. Then last night they beat Copenhagen by 3-1. So both teams are on a winning run. The last time City lost a game was against Aston Villa. In the last 18 games, they have won 6-7. Their last 19 games, they won 17 and drawn just 2.
That's City.
So City.
Yeah.
So they are on an incredible, winning run, which a lot of people anticipate that when they get into that group, they are playing at Anfield, one of the most difficult grounds for Manchester City to go out there and pick a win. Again, let me run by you some interesting figures between these two sides. So the last time these two sides met was in November 25th.
Yeah.
But it was a 1-1 draw at the Etihad. Then they played in April. City beat them by 4-1. Then in October, Liverpool won by 1-0. So in their last 3 meetings, they both edged each other by a win, then drawn. And it's a bit interesting because I'm looking at the Liverpool side that are not they are not the usual Liverpool side
that we use. Yeah.
Very aggressive, very forceful. What we know them, that high pressing game.
No,
this time it's more fluid. It's more calculated in their approach. And so I watched them in the first game at the Etihad, and I think that City threw that game away because everything was going well for City until they took their leg off the pedal a little bit. Then gradually Liverpool warmed themselves into the game. But Liverpool have issues, their defense and their midfield. Their midfield is not your usual Liverpool midfield that we've come to know. It's either sometimes they're playing Gravenberch, it's either sometimes they're playing Shibojela, they're playing McAllister, they're playing Endo. There's no fixed.
Sometimes Javi Elliott will come in.
Sometimes Javi Elliott will come in and all of that. There's no fixed Liverpool side. And I think that it's also an advantage for them because it makes them very unpredictable and very fluid, like we spoke about. Another issue is they've not had a constant front three. Sometimes Salah comes in, he's had issues with injuries. Sometimes Darwin Núñez comes in. Sometimes it's Gakpo. We spoke about these young chaps who come in, Javier. Sometimes it's Ruben Diaz, and so there's no static front three that we usually know as Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane, and Mo Salah. There's a lot of twists and turns, there are a lot of changes in the front three. That would give them that unpredictability, especially if you are preparing against a side like that. We know their defense will be set. You have Konate, you have Van Dijk, Robertson is back. As to whether Trent Alexander-Arnold is fit to play, look, we do not know as at today. But then it's looking more likely that a player like Gomez will step in. When Gomez plays, he takes a little bit away from Liverpool in terms of the ability to attack and in terms of the ability to create those diagonal runs in the middle of the park and also out wide. So there's a lot of dynamics with this City team. City, on the other hand, look like they are a set team. They had issues with injuries in the first round they played against Liverpool. But now Kevin De Bruyne is back. The only player that is out for Manchester City is Jack Grealish. They literally have an entirely fully fit squad. Doku is in there, John Stones is fit, Diaz is fit, everybody is fit, Haaland is fit, the young chap who's on fire, Foden is fit. Obviously, it's so easy to predict a City starting 11. But let's look at Manchester City. How do you expect them to approach this game?
Now, Manchester City, I expect them to approach this game the way they've always approached the game. When they meet Liverpool, most of the times that they meet them and either lose or have a slim margin, is that they try to change things. They try to, yes. But if the City would be the City that has been playing all this while and maintain their tempo, like you said, one of the reasons why they had a few sloppy matches and losing and drawing was the absence of Kevin De Bruyne, and also and we got to know that whenever Kevin De Bruyne is firing and he's present, it actually does a lot to Haaland, because the last 2 matches, that is the last but one, he actually assisted him in 4 of the goals. The 5 he scored, he assisted 4 against Luton. So they were more than back and forth. When this one is injured, this one is off. When this one is injured, or when this one comes back, the other one goes off. But it looks like now when both of them are fit, or now that they are both fit, they are firing. And
yeah, for a player like Halad, he's because of his injury situation, he's gradually, warming himself up.
Yeah.
He's not been. I mean, he's on 18 goals.
Yes.
Last season by this time, he was somewhere around
25, 26.
Yes.
So meeting Liverpool, this is not a fixture that they are new to. They are not alien to this fixture, and I am not expecting City to do anything different because Guardiola by now had really learned a lot from his previous matches with them. And like you said, the midfield of Liverpool is something that is also an advantage to them. You see, at first they used to have robust midfield: Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho. A few times you might have Shaqiri coming in, and an injured Thiago, Alcantara. But now with the midfield that they have, and it is also contributing to their goals because Liverpool now do not have a constant goal supply from one person. Previously, we know it is Salah who is going to be the main person, maybe a few times from Firmino, and maybe you also have Sadio Mane coming in. But now, Cody Gakpo has double figures. You have my man, the dashing man, Darwin Núñez. I told Kofi that the second season, this guy is always on fire. He did not believe me.
I think that it will be too premature to say he's always on fire because even in his so-called best season, he's lacking behind.
No, the guy has I really don't know what you're expecting from him. He's hitting double figures. He's scoring crucial goals against Newcastle. He came off the bench. He scored 2 goals against Nottingham Forest. He actually scored an injury time goal. So the guy is on fire. I don't know what you're expecting. He's not Ronaldo. He's not Messi. You don't expect him to score 20 goals. So he's scoring. You have Luis Diaz, double figures. He's scoring. Salah, double figures. He's scoring. So even Jota, who is injured, is scoring. You come to the midfield. McAllister is scoring. Cody Gakpo is scoring. And Zibojla is scoring.
Hopefully, Zibozlai was injured, but hopefully, I think that.
So the midfield, unlike before, Fabinho was hardly scoring, Henderson was hardly scoring, and you also have your man, Jordan Henderson, and Wijnaldum. It was sparingly. It was just about keeping the rigidity of the team. But this crop of players and that unpredictability is what Guardiola will be sweating on. What midfield is he coming with? How is he going to play? And those times too, it was very obvious. Okay, Liverpool will come with their wings, that is their inverted laterals, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. They will be the one who will be the creators. But now it's not with them. You will be playing and you will see Zibojla being the one who is giving cut-through passes. McAllister will be giving 8 perfect passes. So you don't really know. And Darwin Núñez is not a standing 9. He's the one that would work, come to the midfield, try to tension defenders. But I don't think it will be something that City will be sweating so much about because they also have midfielders who also really will be on you. Doku has been a perfect replacement for Jack Grealish when he's absent. Apart from a few times that probably he will be off, but he's always there when he is on form.
You spoke about goals, and before we quickly wrap up, it's interesting. Let me again run by our viewers this few stats because it's very, very interesting. So the two sides have almost similar, unbeaten stats in terms of numbers. So they both played 25 games at home. They've won 20 games. They've drawn 5. They've scored 60. City have scored 64 goals. Liverpool has scored 65 games in terms of when they are playing at home.
Okay, so is it this season?
This season.
Okay.
They both played, in terms of all competitions, they've played 25 games, won 20, drawn 5. So Liverpool have scored 65, City have scored 64. Goals against, City have conceded 20, Liverpool have conceded 21. Points, 65 points apiece. Literally, I mean, almost the same numbers. Now, in terms of goals or goals in terms of the XGs, now Liverpool are ranked second in terms of goals scored per game. They are averaging 2.4 goals per game.
Okay.
They also ranked second in terms of away wins from home. Mohamed Salah is ranked first in terms of big chances created, 18 big chances. So he'll be very, very crucial to this game if he's fully fit. Jurgen Klopp granted an interview where he spoke about the fact that he's en route to Prague and he'll be available.
It's just mind games. It's mind games.
Available for the game against Slavia Prague, and hopefully on Sunday he'll be available. Now, on the other hand, City are also ranked third in terms of goals scored per game. So Arsenal are ranked first, Liverpool are ranked second, City are ranked third, and very, very closely followed Liverpool in terms of goals scored per game, 2.3 goals. They are ranked second in terms of away wins. Erling Haaland, obviously, the competition's leading scorer. So very, very interesting, very, very crucial game. Where quickly, 60 seconds, where do you think this game will end? Who will see from quickly?
From my
City, Manchester City or Liverpool?
I'll tell you what I want and what I know would come up.
Okay.
I am expecting them to draw. In fact, I don't want any of them to win.
Okay.
Because this season, I'm rooting for Arsenal. I want Arsenal to take advantage of it.
When we did the preview, I actually predicted that Arsenal.
I said Liverpool or Arsenal because I'm not expecting City to win a 4 consecutive. But in actual sense,
so in the ideal sense, what will happen?
In the ideal sense, who is playing at home?
Liverpool are playing.
Now, in the ideal sense, Liverpool will edge City just a little, maybe a slim margin, maybe 1-0 or 2-1.
Like the last time they
a 1-0 or 2-1.
1-0.
But I'm expecting them to draw.
Okay.
What about you?
If it ends, I think that City will edge this. City have they have this factor about it. I think that City will edge it. So guys, Percy has predicted that he feels that Liverpool have everything and in their time to beat Manchester City. He's going for the same goal of a 1-0 win for Liverpool. I'm looking at the odd goal in 2 for Manchester City, a 2-1 and 3-2, because there will be goals in this game. These two sides, whenever they meet, expect that there will be goals. We are shooting live from the Shocks Hub located at the Takrade Mall. And before we check out, so let me quickly do this. So the 3 teams that are in the hunt for the league: Liverpool, City, and United. Their remaining fixtures for the competition. Liverpool take on City at home. Their next game, they take on Everton. They take on Brighton. They play Luton. Then they take on United. These are incredible matches. Then they go at home. They play at home to Brighton. Then they play away. They play away to Fulham. Then away to West Ham. Then at home to Spurs. Then they take on Aston Villa away. Very, very crucial game. Their last game of the season will be against Wolverhampton Wanderers at home at Anfield. City, on the other hand, all the 3 teams, City have the most difficult games. City are playing Liverpool away. Then they play Brighton away. Then they play Arsenal at home. Then they play Aston Villa at home. Then they take on they take on Crystal Palace away. Then they play Luton at home. Then they take on Spurs away. Then they play Nottingham Forest away. They play Wolverhampton Wanderers at home. They take on Fulham at home. Then they take on West Ham at home. Very, very difficult. Amongst all the 3 teams that are competing for the title, City have the most difficult of fixtures. Arsenal, on the other hand, are taking on Villa, Wolves, Spurs, Bournemouth, United, Everton, Brighton, Luton, Manchester City, Chelsea, and
that's 6-5, 6-5, 6-5, 4-6-5.
These are equally good games for Arsenal and Liverpool. City do have the toughest fixtures. Where the league title will end this season, obviously I do not know. But what is your pick at the end of the season? This is Sports 101, a live preview of the big game this weekend.